Imagine this. For over a century, a single company defined photography. Your childhood photos, family vacations, and birthday parties, all captured on film made by one company, Kodak. Kodak didn't just sell cameras. They sold memories, moments, and an experience that touched millions worldwide. And yet when the world shifted to digital photography, Kodak stumbled. They invented the digital camera. And still they lost the future they created. How does a company that dominated photography for over 100 years almost disappear overnight? This is the rise and fall of Kodak. Kodak was founded in 1888 by George Eastman. His mission? Make photography accessible to everyone. Before Kodak, photography was complicated and expensive. You had to develop film in dark rooms and deal with heavy equipment. Kodak's first camera changed all that.
You press the button, we do the rest. Simple, affordable, and easy to use.
Kodak's roll film and cameras made photography something anyone could enjoy, from families to professionals. Over the next decades, Kodak became synonymous with photography. They didn't just sell cameras, they created a culture of capturing memories. By the 1970s, Kodak dominated the global film market. Their yellow boxes were everywhere. Kodak moment became part of everyday language. Kodak wasn't just a company, it was a photography empire. Cameras, film, chemicals, photo processing. A global brand trusted by millions. Iconic advertising campaigns. They were massive, profitable, unstoppable. In the 1970s and 80s, Kodak controlled over 90% of film sales in the US. They were pioneers in color photography. They influenced art, journalism, and personal life. Kodak had the resources, the talent, and the brand to define the future. And then the digital revolution arrived. Kodak actually invented digital photography in 1975. An engineer named Steven Sasson created a digital camera prototype. It worked. It was clunky, slow, and low resolution. But it was the future. Here's the shocking part. Kodak saw it coming. Executives understood that digital cameras could replace film, and yet they hesitated. Why? Kodak's film business was extremely profitable. They feared cannibalizing their own sales. They underestimated how fast digital would grow. Kodak focused on protecting the past instead of embracing the future. By the 1990s and 2000s, competitors like Canon, Nikon, Sony, and later smartphones were pushing digital photography forward. Consumers wanted instant photos, digital editing, compact cameras, integration with computers, and later the internet. Kodak tried to keep up with digital cameras and printers, but they were always behind. Meanwhile, Apple, Samsung, and smartphone makers were preparing to integrate cameras into devices people carried everywhere. Kodak's empire was built on film, but the world was moving to pixels. By the 2000s, Kodak's revenue was declining. Film sales plummeted, digital cameras grew in popularity. Smartphones began replacing point-and-shoot cameras. Kodak tried to pivot. Digital cameras, photo printers, online photo services. But the damage was done. They had lost their first-mover advantage. They still had brand recognition, but innovation and execution had slipped away. In 2012, Kodak filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. A company that once controlled photography for over 100 years was now struggling to survive. Kodak's story isn't just about cameras, it's about innovation, disruption, and the danger of resting on past success. Key lessons. Being first isn't enough. Kodak invented digital cameras but failed to capitalize. Protecting legacy can be risky. Profitable film sales blinded them to the future. Adapt or perish. Technology moves fast, and giants can fall if they hesitate. Execution beats invention. Ideas matter, but execution matters more. Kodak didn't vanish completely. They now focus on printing, licensing, and commercial imaging. The brand still exists, but it's a shadow of its former self, and the phrase Kodak moment remains in our culture. The company that once made photography accessible to the world now survives in niche markets. Kodak didn't fail because it lacked innovation. It failed because it couldn't turn innovation into sustainable dominance. Kodak shaped the way the world captured memories. For generations, it made photography simple, accessible, and iconic. But the company that invented the digital camera didn't lead the digital age. It's a story of brilliance, hesitation, and the unforgiving pace of technological change. The lesson? Even empires built on decades of success can disappear if they fail to embrace the future. Kodak had the vision. They had the talent. They even had the first digital camera. But they didn't act fast enough. And in technology, sometimes being too cautious is the same as being too late.